संग पथ चलता रहे। मती है सफलता चरण ऐसे वीर की, भे कभी खाते न जो चमकती शमशीर की। संग के उत्थान हित नित नव चयन नरता रहे। है वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। है वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। मान और अपान सब कुछ हिंदू हित स्वीकार हो। दीन का हित हो जहाँ तो मौत भी स्वीकार हो। ध्येय हो वत वृक्ष अपना, फूलता फलता रहे। फूलता फलता रहे। हे वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। हे वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। जागरण के गीत गाना ही सदा पाता जिसे, काल का दुष्चक्र किंचित छू नहीं पाता जिसे। जो तिमिर को फाड़ता दीपक जला हरता रहे। हे वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। हे वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। धीरज के हके रथ बैठ कर बढ़ता रहे। है वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। है वही पुरुषार्थी जो वही पुरुषार्थी जो वही पुरुषार्थी जो संग पथ चलता रहे। पीयूष जी।
केनिया के माननीय संचालक जी श्री परेश शाह, केनिया के कार्यवाह श्री दिवेश जी, केनिया की कार्यवाहिका श्रीमती जानकी बेन, केनिया के सह कार्यवाह श्री कमल जी शर्मा, अन्य कार्यकर्ता बंधुओं तथा प्रिय सेविका भगिनी, आज हम कार्यकर्ता जो भाग है उसका द्वितीय भाग ले रहे हैं। तो दिस इज द 8th सेशन। और मैंने सोचा कि जो लास्ट वीक हमने पॉइंट्स लिए थे उसका कुछ 2-3 मिनट के लिए रिवीजन कर लें, तो उसी से शुरू करते हैं आज। मिनट Again, the slides have frozen. Just 1 second.
I think Piyush, you need to share the screen instead of application.
Somehow it's not giving me that option. I'm even trying to escape. Okay. हाँ ठीक है। तो पहला पॉइंट था 9 पॉइंट हमने लिए थे और उसमें पहला पॉइंट था मनुष्य निर्माण की भी तो कोई प्रक्रिया है, और उसमें 3 बातें मुख्य आई थी। that there was a realization that to make men, or men with capital M, there has to be a process. So only 2 hands and 2 feet do not make man. और उसमें एक बात आई थी कि we have to start at the basic level. क्योंकि समाज में कुछ एक्सपेक्टेड बिहेवियर्स होते हैं और most people unfortunately don't follow these expected behaviors, so we have to start at that basic level. दूसरा पॉइंट, पूजनीय गुरुजी की माताजी से प्राप्त व्यवहार सूत्र, उसमें 4 मुख्य बातें आई थी. That the Karyakarta should be able to face and deal with any situation. The second point was that our work is based on sampark, and therefore the knowledge of the area of our work and total participation in that area of our work is extremely important. तीसरा point था the all-round development of a karyakarta. A karyakarta must be developed all round, and they must have the capability to live on their own. And one of the most important points was that is samaj mein there are many people who are ignored, and therefore we need to have that sensitivity. Karyakartas need to have that sensitivity, and the phrase that she had used was aankh hai lekin drishti nahi. So we have the eyes and we are part of the work, but we don't observe what is going on. So that is important. तीसरा पॉइंट था सिद्धांत प्रस्थापना में कार्यकर्ता का अहम स्थान. What is our role? We realized that karyakarta is the means and the pillar of our work. So all the work that is done to visualize the philosophy is through us. So we are the means of the work as well as the pillar. And that is why Sangha makes a lot of effort to create karyakartas in order to actualize or to action the philosophy. फिर चौथा पॉइंट था अस्थि समूह जैसा में कार्यकर्ता वर्ग. This point talked about the role of karyakartas, and it gave an analogy that the role of the karyakarta in the samaj is like that of a skeleton in a body. It is essentially a support structure. And one point that came out is that there is a ratio of karyakartas within the samaj. How many karyakartas do you need? And it was the 3% and 1% ratio that came out. But the most important part there was that whoever is that 1% karyakarta, Gan, are they capable of providing leadership? It is not just a matter of numbers, but they have the ability to give leadership or not. फिर था क्या है कार्यकर्ता की पहचान. तो उसमें आई थी कि वी वांट टू क्रिएट अ ग्लोबल संगठन ऑफ पीपल, कार्यकर्ताज एंड करना है हमने. तो कैसे लोगों का संगठन करना है? तो दोज हु कैन थिंक प्रॉपर्ली, या दे शुड बी थिंकर्स, दोज हु अंडरस्टैंड देयर वर्क एंड दे हैव लीडरशिप एबिलिटी. फिर सिक्स्थ पॉइंट था कि कार्यकर्ता खुद का अपना संगठन करें. और क्यों? बिकॉज there is this concept of ahankar and atma vishwas, ego versus self-confidence. Sometimes these are intertwined and overlapping, and what we may believe is atma vishwas may actually be ahankar. So we need to be mindful of this. Or usme example tha कि if you do not know in what lies your own welfare, how can you give margdarshan to the rest? So we need to have this internal self-organization. The seventh point was Atma Deepo Bhava. Essentially, this talked about fixing oneself first and then the rest. So we must fix ourselves, our weaknesses, before we talk about the rest. And we also saw that self-organization is very difficult, and it is a constant battle compared to when we are dealing with external issues. And we talked about the sharir, the man, the atma, the buddhi, and the constant struggle within these four. So we need to be able to control this. And therefore, it is absolutely necessary for a karyakarta to keep watch over oneself. अपने खुद पर निगरानी रखना. फिर पॉइंट आया था कार्यकर्ता कैसा होना चाहिए, तो लालटेन की कांच जैसा। और इसमें दो बातें आई थी कि कार्यकर्ता मस्ट बी निष्कलंक और पारदर्शी। निष्कलंक मीन्स क्लीन एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट प्लस, और पारदर्शी मीन्स ट्रांसपेरेंट। और बिकॉज द समाज should be in a position to see our Dhyaya Sankalpa through the Karyakartas. So we must not be affected by external distractions. And therefore, this analogy is extremely important for us, that people should be able to understand our work through us. और लास्ट पॉइंट था कि सबने निर्णय अपना अपना लेना है। तो उसमें पॉइंट आए थे कि ये जो हम संस्कार पाते हैं, सभी जगह से जो संस्कार पाते हैं, उसमें उससे हमारी ध्येय पूर्ति की तीव्र इच्छा उत्पन्न होती है और उससे हम निर्णय ले पाते हैं। And we make a decision that we want to be affiliated and associated with this lifelong work. And the point that came out was that pracharaks come out, they give their life for this work, and therefore the best should suffer so that the rest may prosper. And we move from the concept of self before service to service before self. And the last point that came out was the sequence that ये जो ध्येय संकल्प की पूर्ति की जो तीव्र इच्छा हमें होती है, और अगर सैद्धांतिक निष्ठा हो, that means if we have conviction in the philosophy, then पूर्ण समर्पण भाव जागता है हमें, और उस पूर्ण समर्पण भाव से साधना के लिए असीम त्याग की तैयारी, means we are ready to sacrifice and we build a दृढ़ धारणा which is a total conviction. तो ये एक छोटा सा रिवीजन था ऑफ द पॉइंट्स दैट वी हैड कवर्ड लास्ट टाइम। हमने जो अभी गीत सुना उसमें भी वही सब बातें थी कि कार्यकर्ता की क्वालिटीज क्या होनी चाहिए। तो अभी हम नेक्स्ट सेक्शन में आगे बढ़ते हैं, उसमें और कुछ नए पॉइंट्स आए हैं, तो उसको हम देखते हैं। तो द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट दैट कम्स अप इज निजी परिवार का भी सहभाग। नाउ दिस इज एन एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट वन, especially so for karyakartas who are family. We have karyakartas who are pracharaks, who have given up their family and they are totally immersed in this work. But we have karyakartas like you and me, who are, part of a family. So what is the important point here is that it is not only the karyakartas tyag that is important, but also the readiness for and the necessity of tyag by the family members. This is extremely important. And why is this important? So we realize that our work is running and spreading by many such karyakartas and families. Just because we have karyakartas who have this kind of tyag and involvement in the work, and they are properly supported by their families, then our work is both running and spreading. But what is the danger? The danger here is that sometimes we don't do enough. Realize that special or extra efforts are needed for this. By this I mean building this त्याग भावना within the family. तो कई बार क्या होता है कि the कार्यकर्ता is totally immersed in the work, वो अपने कार्य के लिए दौड़ता रहता है और समाज में काम करता है, और क्या होता है कि साथ में परिवार को घसीटता जाता है, and sometimes in a very, very insensitive manner. In the sense that, for example, a karyakarta goes out and does work, sometimes doesn't even keep the family informed कि हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, कितने बजे आएंगे, खाना घर पे खाएंगे या नहीं खाएंगे। तो इसका परिणाम क्या होता है कि such kind of behavior can create a resentment in the rest of the family members, because they might not have understood the importance and the necessity of the work that we are doing. And therefore, this can lead to family problems and stress. And if this kind of an environment is there, then this also affects the work of the karyakarta, because ये जो खींचातानी रहती है, the parivar is not yet fully immersed in the work, they don't understand the concept, and especially, for example, for men, rather than the rest of the family, the wife is the extremely important part here, in the sense that how are they also brought within this frame of mind, because otherwise it disrupts the work. And कार्यकर्ता अपने खुद बाहर में बहुत संलग्न से काम करता रहता है, लेकिन घर में कुछ अंधेरा है, तो this is important. Or in the public life and in the work life, we talk about this concept of work life balance. हालांकि हमारा जो कार्य है उसमें ये वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का इतना बहुत ज्यादा महत्व नहीं है, क्योंकि we have to do a lot of work and sacrifice is involved. But the aspect of work life balance refers to this fact that whilst you are doing your work, or in total commitment, if there is not enough support from the rest of the family members, then it can create problems in the long run. And therefore, it's extremely important to balance this point. So this is one very important point, and it applies to mainly prapanchik karyakar, those who are, in family life. फिर अगला पॉइंट आता है कि व्हाट इज द मेजर ऑफ अ कार्यकर्ता. कार्यकर्ता का मापदंड क्या है, क्राइटेरिया. इफ somebody was to ask what is the single most important criterion of a karyakarta, and the answer to that is vishwasaniyata, which means reliability. And we'll see some points come through. So one is kshamata. Kshamata is ability, that the karyakarta has ability to do work. The next point is kushalata. Kushalata means expertise to do in the work. And the third point is karya tatparata, is efficiency. So on one side, a karyakarta may have kshamata, kushalata, or karya tatparata, means ability, expertise, and efficiency. So a karyakarta can and must have these, but what is more important in our work is for a karyakarta to have nishtha, which is conviction, pratibadhata, which is commitment, samarpitata, which is dedication, and vishwasaniyata, which is the most important one, which is reliability. So अगर हम ये पलड़ा देखें तो हम देखते हैं कि ये जो नीचे वाला जो पलड़ा है वो भारी है. That carries more weight: nishtha, pratibadhata, samarpitata, and vishwasaniyata. So we can have a karyakarta who has less ability, who doesn't have enough expertise, who may not be that efficient, but they absolutely must have these qualities in them: conviction, commitment, dedication, and reliability. So the conclusion that comes is that we can have a karyakarta who has less ability, less expertise, less efficiency, but if they lack any of this, then those karyakartas are not really very, very useful for our work. And therefore importance is given to this point. And even in the professional world, we see there's this battle between professionalism and conviction. Now what goes in the professional organizations or in the work culture is quite opposite to what we give emphasis to. We need more conviction, commitment, dedication, and reliability. The karyakarta may have less ability. So this is what we need to be mindful of under this particular point. How do you measure a karyakarta? The next point that comes is कि हमारा एक पागल लोगों का संगठन है. We are an organization of mad people. Now people might find this a bit funny. Why would we say that? And a lot of people in the initial days when the Sangha started, I think so, we must have read everywhere that, everybody was also telling Dr. Ji कि आप तो पागल हो, कि how can you, achieve what you want to achieve by the kind of things that you are doing. So the points that come here is that our karyakartas do not have vyavaharik chaturai, means they do not believe in shrewdness or expediency, which is the quality of being convenient and practical despite being improper or immoral. So हम ऐसा रास्ता नहीं अपनाते हैं which is convenient and practical but may not necessarily be proper or moral. So the point is that we have chosen this path ourselves. जानबूझ के हमने ये पाथ लिया है, ये रास्ता लिया है. व्यावहारिक चतुराई है हमने, कार्यकर्ताओं में चतुराई है. They have the cleverness, but they have deliberately chosen not to use that cleverness. We have realized that we will not get success quickly in the kind of work that we are doing. But what we have firmly decided is that we will not compromise or shortcuts on our riti, niti, paddhati. We will not compromise on our fundamental principles to achieve a. So the three words that are important here is apni riti kya hai, apni niti kya hai, apni paddhati kya hai. Let us compromise in any of these and let us not take any shortcuts, because we have realized that ours is a slow process but a sure process. इसमें there is no question of personal benefits, केवल देना ही है. So what happens in public life, we realize that people take shortcuts because of political expediency. They want to achieve something very quickly and they have a hidden objective or an agenda behind what they do. तो हमारा तो तय है कि there is no question of any personal benefits. हमने तो केवल देना ही है. So how does this happen and what is required? Then obviously we need Purana Samarpana Bhav, which is total dedication. With Niswartha Bhav means selfless. So we must be dedicated, and that dedication must be selfless. And how do we get this Niswartha Bhav? Ye Samarpana ki bhavna. So the answer is when a Karyakarta believes that he is only a sadhan for achievement of the Dhyaya Sankalp, means bigger objective. This to constantly keep on giving to the work, and we have to be selfless in what we do. आत्मसमर्पण की भावना के कारण प्रचंड मनोबल. तो हम देखते हैं कि कार्यकर्ता इस because of this total dedication and this surrender की जो भावना होती है, उसके मन में एक प्रचंड मनोबल means great inner and intrinsic mental strength पैदा होती है. तो अहंकार रहित आत्मार्पण means without any ego, when you are dedicating yourself to this work, you develop what is known as prachanda manobal, this inner strength. This prachanda manobal, this inner strength that you have, our karyakartas are able to do a lot of great work despite whether they are sick, whether they are frail, or they are not completely physically fit, they are still able to do a lot of work. Or Dattopant ji, is point pe, he gives a lot of examples, real life world examples. तो हम उसमें से कुछ देखते हैं. One of the examples he gave was of Che Guevara, who many of you might know, is that he was a guerrilla warfare founder. He's the one who actually developed the guerrilla warfare in the Western world. And in Cuba, through his help, Fidel Castro became the leader. And in recognition of this, Fidel Castro, who was the president, gave him a very good job at the central bank. Soon after getting the job, he heard that there is, independence struggles going on in South America. And therefore, he just gave up his job. He was quite sick, but he just gave up his job and he went to Bolivia, which is a country in South America. He joined the Bolivia war, and he led the guerrilla war there. And he was very, very sick. He had bronchitis, but he still gave up everything and took control of this total guerrilla warfare there. And therefore, this says how much Atma Vishwas usme tha. Another example he gives is of अपने पुराने संघ के सरकार्यवाह माधवराव जी मुड़े, who was also at a certain point in time quite weak and frail and suffering from a lot of illnesses. In the 1970s, when in Bharat we had the emergency, then Sangha activity was all run underground. Means खुलेआम हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे. So the entire organization of this underground activity was ably conducted by Shri Madharavji Mude. So despite his sickness, because of the inner mental strength that these people had, they were able to do a lot of work. Another example given was Charu Majumdar, who was the founder of the Naxalite movement in India. The Naxalite movement we know is it's a movement in certain areas of India where they have sort of communist kind of ideas. But this person was a great leader. He was also in a very, very frail state of mind and physical strength. But he very ably led this particular movement. So when they actually caught him, when they arrested him, they didn't find anything on him except for a bottle of oxygen where he was taking oxygen because he had breathing difficulties. Another interesting example that he quoted was in Maharashtra, there was this Sardar Bapu Gokhale, who was an army man. So once he was, you know, वो दाढ़ी बनवा रहे थे, as in he was getting shaved, और नाई दाढ़ी बना रहा था, तो ऐसा हुआ कि थोड़ी वो रेजर लग गई ये बापू जी को, और उसके मुंह से आवाज, इस रेजर आपको सूसू कर गया. तो ये जब दाढ़ी करना जो खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद जब जाने का समय आया तो उसने उसको बुलाया, नाई को बुलाया और बोला अपना ये एक पैर आगे करो. तो उसने एक पैर आगे किया और ये जो सरदार जी थे उसने अपना पैर उस spear लिया, and he penetrated that spear through both their legs till it reached it hit the ground. And obviously the barber started shouting and making a lot of noise, saying, why did you do this? And Sardarji told him that this is the answer to your question as to why I did susu there, and this is the real me. When I'm in war, this is how I am. मैं अब हंस रहा हूँ, आप रो रहे हो. So जब दाढ़ी बनवा रहा था तब मेरी स्पिरिट कोई अलग थी, और मेरी मानसिकता जब मैं लड़ाई में हूं तब कोई अलग होती है. तब जरा जो आत्मबल होता है, जो मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ होती है, वो कुछ अलग होती है. Another example he gives is about his cousin brother's wife. Dattobanji said that they came from a very middle class family, but his cousin brother had married into a very rich family. And so the wife who came was, very, she couldn't handle many difficult things. Even while cooking, if, for example, wo aag thodi si lag gayi, to, she couldn't withstand any of that. Once their house caught fire and everybody ran outside, and she also ran outside, only to realize that her little child was still in the room. And therefore, without thinking, she ran into this house which was engulfed in flames, and she went and took the baby and came out, and she got herself burnt in the process. So the people started wondering that, she's so weak and she can't even withstand cooking fire. How did she manage to, run into this burning house and do what she did? And therefore, the thing that comes out of this is that ये जो आत्मबल है जो it can itself at certain times. And when the inner strength gets the appropriate call, then it emerges. कि ये जो अपनी जो ये मानसिक स्थिति है, जो मानसिक बल है, if it gets the appropriate call, then it definitely emerges. And naturally, then the question arises that what gives us karyakartas this inner strength? And the answer to that is that we get this call from our adhishthan. We covered adhishthan in great length in the first couple of sessions, which is the philosophy. So because of this philosophy and our wish to follow this path, we get this call. And therefore we develop this mental strength. So this point talked about all about this inner strength that we carry and which manifests itself from time to time. Then the point comes कि ध्येय के साथ एकात्म होने से विजिगीषु वृत्ति, which means attitude of victory is generated by being integrated with the goal. तो हमने देखा पिछले जो सेशंस थे उसमें कि ध्येय के साथ एकात्मता होती है. We become integrated with the goal. तो इस एकात्मता से, because we are identifying with this, एंड अपने अधिष्ठान से हमको जो ये प्रेरणा सब मिलती है, तो उससे हमारे मन में एक प्रचंड मनोबल आता है. और ये प्रचंड मनोबल से एक जबरदस्त आत्मविश्वास जागता है. वी गेट दिस इमेंस सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, एंड फ्रॉम दिस इमेंस सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस वी डेवलप दिस एटीट्यूड ऑफ विक्ट्री. सो द सीक्वेंस इज ध्येय के साथ एकात्मता होना, उसके वजह से हमारे मन में प्रचंड मनोबल जागना, उसके कारण एक जबरदस्त आत्मविश्वास पैदा होता है, और उसकी वजह से एक विजिगीषु वृत्ति पैदा होती है. मीन्स वी डेवलप दिस एटीट्यूड ऑफ विक्ट्री. So some examples are given here. Is we all know Chanakya. During about 300 BC, Chanakya was there during King Chandragupta's time, and Chanakya was asking his Guptachar about the sthiti of what is going on in the countryside, what is happening. And the Guptachar said that this Raja has left us and he has joined the enemy. These ones are planning to leave us. And therefore, it was just all talk of people leaving or people wanting to leave. Or Chanakya, this episode comes within the Mudra Rakshas Natak of Vishakha Datta. There is a very famous Natak called Mudra Rakshas. Some of you may have read it. तो इसमें ये आता है, और चाणक्य in this one says that those who wanted to leave have already gone. Those who want to leave can go, as long as my buddhi does not leave me. So कितना आत्मविश्वास है उस चाणक्य में. He says my buddhi is strong enough. I don't need anybody with me. With this buddhi, I have destroyed the kingdom of the previous Raja, and we have achieved so much just with this buddhi and the planning that goes behind the buddhi. The buddhi plans and executes, so I don't need anybody else with me. Another example he cites is of Bajirao Peshwa. This is during the Mughal times. The first Bajirao Peshwa, he wanted to do Uttar Digvijay, which is conquer the northern territories. But the one above him was refusing to give him permission, saying that I cannot give you permission because you really don't have anything. So Bajirao Peshwa wrote back to him and said that, look, all I need is your blessings. I will raise the army, I will raise the funds, and I will gather the equipment, and we will regain in Hindustan. All I need is your blessings. Again, it talks about kitna atmavishwas tha and this attitude of victory. Another example he cites is of Napoleon in the Battle of Leipzig, where his Senani comes to him and says that हम सिर्फ 50,000 हैं और वो सामने वाली जो सेना है उसमें 1.5 लाख लोग हैं, सैनिक हैं, तो डेफिनेटली वी आर गोइंग टू लूज. एंड नेपोलियन एट दैट टाइम टेल्स हिम कि नहीं, हम भी 1.5 लाख हैं, आप लोग सब 50,000 हैं और मैं अकेला 1 लाख के बराबर हूं. So you can imagine that there were only 50,000, but he himself projected himself. So as a karyakarta, he is projecting himself that we are not only 50,000, we are 150,000. और ये बात से हमको ये गुरु गोविंद सिंह की बात याद आती है. We must have all heard this when Guru Govind ji said, 1.25 लाख से एक लड़ाऊं तभी गोविंद सिंह नाम कहाऊं. Means he considered himself to be that capable, as great as 100,000 army. He thought that his strength was equivalent to an army of 125,000 people. So this is this attitude of victory. And it is said in our Shastra, Kriya Siddhi Sattve Bhavati Mahatam Nopakarane, which means that for the great, victory is not with the sadhan, but with the resolution. और हम सबको पता है कि हमारा ध्येय उदात्त है और हमारी विजय निश्चित है. So for this attitude of victory, it's not because of the things that we have to help us take there. It's with the resolution in our minds that we have, that ours is the sure path and our vijay is nishchit. And therefore that resolution takes us where we want to be. Lenin called these kind of people a determined minority. Means that change is brought about by a determined and a confident few. Whenever anything historic has happened, it is a few people, but a few determined and confident people who have brought about the change. So these are the determined minority that Lenin was referring to. And finally, this point talks about that victory is not based on Sankhya Bal. It is really not based on numbers, but based on the following 4 items. One is Nishtha. You need to have the conviction. Nishchaya. You need to have the determination to achieve something. Dheeraj, which is extremely important. We need to have the patience because we have talked about that ours is a, there's no shortcuts. It's a slow path, but it's a sure path. And then we need to definitely have the sahas, the courage. So these are 4 qualities that karyakartas should inculcate: develop the nishtha, develop the nishchaya, the determination, dheeraj, and inculcate the spirit of sahas, this courage. उसके बाद का पॉइंट है कि ध्येय की आंतरिक शक्ति का वाहक. मीन्स द ड्राइवर ऑफ द इंट्रिंसिक स्ट्रेंथ इन द गोल. तो हमने देखा कि जब हमारा जो ध्येय है उससे अगर हम एकात्म होते हैं, when we become one with the goal, और जब हम अहम को एलिमिनेट करते हैं, and we saw how that aham is eliminated when we consider ourselves just to be a means to the bigger objective. That we are not projecting ourselves that people should look at us. People should look at our karya through us. And this sort of an attitude, when we become ekatma with the dhyay, it creates limitless strength. तो 2 बातें आती हैं. तो एक तो संख्यात्मक शक्ति. Means when we all come together, अगर हमारा संख्या है तो संख्यात्मक शक्ति तो डेफिनेटली होती है. दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वेयर 1 + 1 = 2 और 2 + 1 = 3 and 3 + 1 = 4 and so on. तो संख्या तो बढ़ती ही है हम जब साथ में आते हैं. लेकिन जब हम ये गोल के साथ एकात्म होते हैं तो देयर इज दिस इंट्रिंसिक स्ट्रेंथ दैट आल्सो कम्स आउट, और उसकी वजह से गुणात्मक शक्ति होती है. And this is where we now talk about कि 1 + 1 11, 11 + 1 111 और 111 + 1 1111. So this manifold and multiplied strength is because of being ekatma with the Dhyaya. So we have this Sankhyaatmak Shakti, but this organization and this Sangathan and this coming together gives us this Gunatmak Shakti as well. This is the intrinsic strength of the Sangathan itself. Another important point that he talks about is Viparit Paristhiti mein bhi adig. Being steadfast in the face of unfavorable circumstances. So, Nirahankari Dhyaya Samarpitata. We've talked about this in the past. Nirahankari means you get rid of your ego, or Dhyaya Samarpitata means you become devoted to the work. So with this devotion, which is devoid of ego, one can work in a pratikul sthiti. Pratikul sthiti, जब हमने 2 हफ्ते पहले जो गीत सुना था, उसमें हमने शपथ लेना जो गीत लिया था, उसमें ये प्रतिकूल शब्द कई बार आया था कि परिस्थिति प्रतिकूल होती है, उसमें भी हम कैसे काम कर सकते हैं. So when we have this निरहंकारी ध्येय समर्पितता, then without losing patience, धीरज न खोते हुए, we can work in this pratikul sthiti. Pratikul means unfavorable. And we realize that the situation can sometimes be pratikul and sometimes it can be anukul. It is not always anukul and neither it is always pratikul. So what is important for karyakartas realizing this, that the situation is sometimes pratikul and sometimes anukul. The important point for us is that our manasthiti should be shant, sanyat and santulit in all such circumstances. Shant means we must be calm. Whether the situation is unfavorable or favorable, we must remain calm. Sanyat means we must act in a moderate manner. Santulit means we must be balanced. And we realize that this is a very difficult thing. और गीत में भी हमने सुना वही शपथ लेना तो सरल है पर निभाना ही कठिन है. प्रतिकूल परिस्थिति में भी काम करते रहना ये बहुत कठिन बात है. तो ये गीत में हम सीखते हैं. And this is what he is talking about here. और भगवद गीता के समय कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जया जयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम अवाप्स्यसि. This is where Arjun during the Mahabharata war, he's become enfeebled and he really doesn't know what to do, and therefore he's approaching Krishna, and Krishna Bhagavan gives him this advice that you just need to fight for the sake of duty. You keep on doing your work. Fight for the happiness and distress. सुख दुख की स्थिति हो, लॉस एंड गेन, विजय पराजय की स्थिति हो, विक्ट्री डिफीट, you just take responsibility and thereby you shall not incur sin. Means आप अपना काम करते रहो, कोई भी परिस्थिति हो, but keep your mind calm, keep your mind moderate and keep your mind balanced and treat happiness and distress, loss and gain, victory and defeat, treat them equally. So this sthirata, this steadfastness is actually very, very necessary in order to enable us find solutions in difficult situations. If we are, agar hum vichalit ho jate hain, then it becomes very difficult to also find solutions. So this sthirata is extremely important. Bhagavad Gita mein he further says, mukta sango ahanam vadi dhrutya sahanvitaha siddhya siddhyor nirvikarah karta sattvika uchyate. Means the liberated and detached performer. Liberated means mukta. Detached means जिसको वो attachment नहीं है, जो कार्य करते रहता है, who is devoid of false ego, जिसमें वो खोटा अहम नहीं है, who is endued with great fortitude, जिसमें दृढ़ता है, enthusiasm है, उत्साह है, who is unaffected by success and failure. जय पराजय हार जीत उसकी कोई परवाह नहीं है उसको. That person is a good person and is a good karyakarta. So we can see all these qualities that Karyakartas need to inculcate. In the previous one, we talked about courage and all those other things. Now we are talking about how we need to have this sthirata in our minds, the calmness, the moderateness, the balanced mind, devoid of ego, where we need to be enthusiastic about what we are doing. All of this helps us in this Viparit Paristhiti. And therefore, we can remain steadfast as mountains in such circumstances. He says that we need to be what are known as practical idealists. Means हमको पता है हमको एवरेस्ट पे चढ़ना है तो 39,000 feet हमको चढ़ना है. That journey is going to start with a step of 39 inches. We know we have to get there. We are not going to immediately get there. It is a slow process. We have to go through the path. We have heard this saying very many times that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step or 1 foot. We need to be practical idealists. Means we understand where our objective is, but we need to chart the path. It's not that there's no shortcut to this. We cannot have this attitude of now or never. Means कि अगर अब हम नहीं कर सकते तो कभी नहीं कर सकते हैं. So if we have, this kind of an attitude where we are practical idealists, and we don't have this attitude of now or never, then the chances of disappointment pretty means disappoint. Then if we have these attitudes, if we inculcate kind of sthirata, then the chances of disappointment is a lot less. Param Pujaniya Guruji used to say and used to use this phrase, hasten slowly, means धीरे धीरे जल्दी करो, लेकिन धीरे धीरे करो. Means the example is a very good example that comes here of the Kalpavriksha. हम सबको पता है Kalpavriksha क्या है. Kalpavriksha is this wish fulfilling tree, Kalpataru जिसको बोलते हैं. तो हमारा संघ ऐसा ही है. He is giving an analogy here where there is this Kalpavriksha, there is this traveler who is going along the path and he comes across this Kalpavriksha. He sits below the Kalpavriksha and he suddenly is feeling thirsty and he makes a wish. प्यास लगी है उसको तो पानी आ जाता है. फिर भूख लगती है तो वो मन में विचार करता है मुझे भूख लगी है तो खाना आ जाता है. उसके बाद उसको ये विचार आने लगता है कि ये कहाँ से सब आया. वो डाउट होता है कहीं कोई शैतान तो नहीं है. तो जैसे वो शैतान की बात आई तो एकदम वो शैतान प्रकट हो गया और एकदम ही उसके मन में ये विचार आया कि शायद ये शैतान मुझे खा जाएगा. तो शैतान खा गया उसको. So this is telling us that we need to be patient and we need to have this dheeraj within us because we are surely going to reach the destination. It's a slow process, but it's a sure process. So we need to develop this dheeraj. And this viparit paristhiti mein bhi adig rehna means also that we should try and convert every calamity into an opportunity. जो भी खराब परिस्थिति, विपरीत या प्रतिकूल परिस्थिति हमारे सामने आती है उसको कैसे हम अपॉर्चुनिटी में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. तो दैट काइंड ऑफ एन एटीट्यूड इज व्हाट वी नीड टू डेवलप. फिर आता है कार्यकर्ता विचलित होने के मनोवैज्ञानिक कार्य. सो व्हाट आर द साइकोलॉजिकल रीजंस फॉर डिस्ट्रैक्शंस दैट अफेक्ट. तो उसमें 3 बातें आती हैं और वो 3 बातें हैं essentially past regrets, future fears and present. Past regrets, हम कई दफा ऐसा है कि we keep on harping about mistakes that we did in the past. This is actually harmful to our work what is said is that we need to think about the past mistakes, but only to learn and improve, but not as a regret, because the regret creates a burden and is actually harmful to both us and the karya. So yes, we do make mistakes, but think about them as learning points. फ्यूचर की हम बात करते हैं तो we don't sometimes understand this distinction between चिंतन and चिंता. चिंतन करना है लेकिन चिंता नहीं करना है. We must have this foresightedness to think of possible outcomes and plan well. कई फ्यूचर में क्या होने वाला है nobody can predict, but we should have and develop this foresightedness to think of possible scenarios and possible outcomes of anything, and therefore we should plan well. And we must also at the same time realize that everything is not in our control, but that some things definitely are, and therefore we need to plan for those some things that are in our control. Some things we have to leave to fate. But agar chinta hi karenge, if we just keep on worrying, it is not going to achieve much for us. It will not take us to where we want to be. But chintan zarur karna, chinta kam karna. और प्रेजेंट टेंशन मीन्स कार्यकर्ता जो बाह्य परिस्थिति है, जो चल रहा है, कोई लोग हमको गाली देता है, कोई हमारी प्रशंसा करता है, वी गेट अफेक्टेड बाय ऑल दीज थिंग्स. और जो प्रेजेंट टेंशन है, हमारी शाखाएं नहीं चल रही है, शाखा में संख्या कम है, ऑल दीज प्रेजेंट टेंशंस अफेक्ट अस. So what they say is that let us cross the bridge when we reach it. You definitely need to think as much as possible within the current situation and plan, but again, don't keep on worrying, because when you worry, there is a famous shlok that a lot of you may have heard, is the difference between चिता and चिंता is just a बिंदु. If you जब हम देवनागरी में लिखते हैं तो चिता और चिंता में सिर्फ एक बिंदु का ही फर्क है. One is going to lead us to the other. मीन्स चिंता करते करते हमारी वो चिता जल जाएगी, ऐसी बात होती है. So the distinction between this is just that bindu matra. So we need to understand this distinction. और वो एक एग्जाम्पल देते हैं सावरकर जी का, वीर सावरकर. वीर सावरकर was in jail and he was quite young, he wasn't very old, and suddenly he had become frail and weak. So he wrote a very big poem in which he is expressing his regrets. The reason he gave this example is that even the greatest of people get affected by regrets. और उसके regrets कैसे थे कि I have to suffer in my young age what old people don't even suffer. मेरी कितनी ख्वाहिशें थी, to live a good life, do this, all that has gone to dust. I have not been able to achieve or enjoy any of these things. Youth. So it says that this kind of things also very, very great and prominent people vigilant. They disturb them. So we shouldn't be affected by these past mistakes. We shouldn't overly worry about the future. चिंता नहीं करनी है लेकिन चिंतन करना है. And don't get too overcome by the present tension. Learn to deal with it, manage it, but don't worry too much. He gives his own father's example that his father was a complete chinta freak. He never achieved much in his life just because of this chinta. He couldn't sleep at night because he just kept on worrying about everything. And he had another uncle who slept very peacefully. And therefore his uncle told him is that if you keep on worrying, it's not going to change the situation. If you had a problem at night, when you wake up in the morning, that problem is still going to be there. So what's the point of worrying about it? So he gives his own example there. Or the last point that I want to cover today is Dhyaya Purti ki atal safalta par vishwas. We must have this trust, eternal trust in successful achievement of the aim. हमें ये विश्वास होना चाहिए कि जो हमारा ध्येय है और जो हमारा गंतव्य है उसकी सफलता इस निश्चित. So steadfastness, ये जो स्थिरता का भाव, this steadfastness means this, where you don't waver. It comes from the total faith in the work, when you have a total belief in the work that you're doing. और हम हर दफा बोलते रहते हैं कि हम ये ईश्वरीय कार्य है. If ऐसा हम अगर बोलते हैं कि ये ईश्वरीय कार्य है, if we have said that this is the work of God, then how can we not succeed? That is the point that comes. And he gives an example of Prophet Muhammad, where Prophet Muhammad is being, chased by a big army, and he has his, one follower, and they're in the middle of the desert. They hide themselves in a cave. This army is advancing, and this follower is getting worried, is that we will be caught. And, so Prophet Muhammad says that we're not alone. God is with us. So if you have this belief, then why should you worry? And the last point is this Atmavishwas, this self-confidence that we should have in ourselves, not from personal ego, but the trust in the success to reach the aim. ये हमें self-confidence है because we are sure of the path that we have chosen. We have trust in what we are doing, and we have trust in the success of this. So it is not from personal ego that we are doing this. One of the two of the last points he makes is that ego, ये जो अहंकार है, it can be an asset at times. Whilst a person may be immature, जब छोटा होता है, तो ये ego अच्छी बात है sometimes, to some extent, because that then gives them the push to do things. Otherwise they become very lethargic. But obviously, as you become more and more mature, the ego becomes a liability, and we never realize when the Atmavishwas becomes ego. So the last point I want to cover here is this thing that just vyaktigat ahankar hai, this personal ego that we have. We need to convert that to dhyaya nishtha atmavishwas, means this self-confidence and this conviction. And then out of all of this will come this nirahankari atmavishwas, means this total egoless self-confidence in ourselves and in the work that we are doing. So this was a summary of this particular section that we have covered. I know I've gone a bit fast, but there's just so much ground to cover. In fact, we've not even reached, I believe, halfway of this particular section. So we'll try and also give a quick summary of the points that we have covered now in the next session. तो मुझे लगता है इतना यहाँ ठीक रहेगा, क्योंकि otherwise it becomes information overload as well. तो इतने हम points ख्याल रखेंगे कि all that we are covering now under this Karyakarta section is the qualities that a Karyakarta must have, and the pitfalls and the dangers that we must avoid. So we need to achieve this balance, and this is what we talked about today. तो यहाँ इतना ही कह के मैं समाप्त करता हूँ.
धन्यवाद पीयूष जी. धन्यवाद all of us who have joined to listen. Let's try to pass this suchna that everybody keeps on adding up next week. We want more people to be listening to this project. It's really going to help us being a better Karyakarta. And also, namaste.
Namaste.